Welcome to the Wild Magic School Bus. My name is Michelle Piper, but you might know me as Kenneth Quinn. You know, the rootin' tootin' one. This Dungeons & Dragons podcast may contain fantasy violence and language, so maybe don't tell your mom about us, unless she's real cool. Our content warnings can be found in episode descriptions, so now that you've been properly warned, buckle up and crack a window, because it's time to start the adventure and witness D&D the way it was meant to be endured.
All right,
but not obese.
The DM
or not greatly obese.
Not obese or greatly obese.
Volume test?
Hmm?
You don't pitch it to me. I just say that you...
Hey guys,
That's good.
Welcome to the Wild Magic School Bus.
And that's the intro right there.
Wait, hey, Will's getting ready to go back to school. Should he have the cold intro line?
No, it's my
Will,
thing,
in 5,
damn it.
4, 3, 2... Will, don't do it.
Okay, Calvin, intro.
Thank you. Coitus Silver, the less known Long John Silver sibling. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wild Magic School Bus, the most unprofessional D&D podcast you will ever hear. I, of course, am your DM, Calvin Piper, and this bevy of bohemians plays D&D with me. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys.
Someone else go first. We've got to Google Bohemians.
I am Bohemian 1, Preston. I play Asmar Warlock named Lucius Kane.
Well done.
I'm reading it off a piece of paper right now.
You're staring into the middle distance.
God, it's audio format. They don't know that. I think that's it. All right, that's me. I'm good.
This entire episode is scripted. Hi, I'm Will. I play Aramer, the Leonin Bloodhunter.
For now.
What do you mean for now?
So ominous.
I die today.
Going out of order, I am TBD, the Gem Dragonborn Fighter, level 4, played by Matt.
Do we even have one?
Not anymore.
If this is scripted, this is a really bad
doing a
script.
real bad job.
All right. This is Drew, and I play Zeph, the Gem Dragonborn Druid, level 4.
You're a Dragonborn?
Draconian.
There you go.
What did I say?
There's a typo in your script.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Who wrote
No,
this?
no.
Type on your script.
What we're saying right now is part of it.
So why do you write me to get it wrong?
Just read the teleprompter!
Doomed by the narrative.
Oh,
Hi,
wait,
I'm
this-
Will, and I play Glyph Khaziiti, Lizard Folk Artificer, level 7.
Why do you say that with a question mark?
Because it says so on the prompt.
Because he's level 6.
I mean, the prompter's going to prompt.
This does not say level 7.
Well, you might
Oh,
want
yeah, I misread mine. Mine's actually, I'm Aramer. I'm actually level 20.
Of course you are.
What I drew, who am not reading a script that Calvin has written, oh, the great mighty Calvin. Oh, hail the great mighty Calvin. What I think is the most interesting is how he can so well write us to speak over each other and the things that we speak over.
And that's incredible, isn't it?
So natural.
I don't want to intro myself.
Dude, this is awesome.
Sorry, Will, you're leaving after this week, and we just pooped all over the intro.
Spoilers. I was going to say that after everyone.
No,
Then you should have written it after.
I mean,
Just
yeah.
bleep all of what he said out. It's the first ever bleep in all
Oh my
of the
gosh,
Wild
first
Magic
ever
School.
censor of the Wild Magic
That's
School
like
Bus.
10 minutes of dying.
I will proceed to introduce myself. My name's Michelle. I play Kenneth. I'm a human and a ranger and a level 6. Amen.
6 and
Amen.
I am Maddie B, and I play the Dwarven Paladin Fulgrin.
Cool.
Who just realized he had some pretty cool powers that he hasn't been using this whole time.
That kid singer thing from YouTube? He used to be big.
Maddie B. Raps.
Maddie B. Raps, yeah.
This is Maddie B. You're just putting together that we have a celebrity on the podcast?
You didn't know that?
He's my age, so I...
Matt.
Yeah, what are you saying?
Matt's 19.
I'm 42.
Can we pull up Maddie B?
Well, being famous.
Damn it! For all you listeners out there, I'm not 42. I am 37.
And Spry.
Wait, how old?
37.
You don't look it.
Not with the
I
script.
thought you said 40.
You look 42.
That's what I think.
No, wait.
I say that I'm 42.
No, I thought you were in your 20s.
I'm sorry.
man.
I'm
Guys,
sorry.
stop calling me young.
I wish.
All right, well, we got to finish this before the old people have a bedtime. So let's go ahead and jump into episode 36 of the Godstar Chronicles.
They were talking about Brandon.
So the last time we were here, the party known as United Indifference had successfully escaped the ancient laboratories of the Draconian Ordinance. After surviving, for the most part, traps and triggers, the party lost a few of its members before regaining them through some pretty immaculate, regenerative, restorative experiments. Brought back the souls of some of their patrons, and then escaped with barely their lives as they infuriated one of the members of the Ordinance, and basically just ticked Balefire off to the point where he swore eternal vengeance. After escaping through a very creepy, gruesome pit of rejection creatures, the party made their way through the Underdark for for a day or so, trying to make their way out before stumbling across an old dig site where they found a few of the older model.
Dig. I thought you said. All thought you heard.
Both.
We thought we heard old dick site. There's just a site where there's a bunch of old dicks.
Retired private investigator, Dick Site.
I play dick site.
That's what you wrote in the script.
Damn Richard Sight, I see everything.
Oh my gosh, that's why he's a private detective. Because he goes by Dick. Richard Dick Sight, Private Eye.
You're just now putting all this together?
Maybe read a real detective right now. Wow.
It's my next road.
The excavation site were some older model automatons and remnants of the strange manipulated magic rocks were. They picked up a half a robot after learning that it was still kind of active and decided to bring it along with them to see if they could extract more information from it. Camping at the edge of the underground after coming out finally from it, they bedded down for the night, woke up the next day, and came across a pretty terrible scene of several dozen corpses strewn about with a very vague yet threatening message left for them.
Let's read the note again.
By
Got it?
a certain individual. And that is where we pick up tonight, so.
Hey, can you guys can you reread that letter for us?
Oh yeah, mate. I've got it right here. Actually, we're kind of in a terrifying situation, and I don't think it's lost on me or the rest of us that this was, I believe, nailed to a lizard.
Any distraction.
Correct. It was embedded in the top, the skull of one of these creatures, using what looks to be a part of a rib bone or a tooth or something, just like embedded in the top.
What were those lizard creatures? Because I think I was gone on the episode.
Correct. So you guys encountered a group of what we affectionately called glow skinks, some electrically charged land lizards that had attacked you guys because you threatened their nest. You quickly vanquished them and scattered them, but have now come to find a very large group of them are now scattered about your... And there are other creatures other than just the glow skinks, I want to be clear. There's like the corpse of what looks to be some sort of like owl bear-esque creature, a larger kind of beast, some smaller creatures, a deer, and some other...
Are they all charred, or are they like...
some of them are. Some of them are ripped. The head of the owlbear is actually gone. It's completely missing from it. There is a deer that looks like it's been opened from the rib cage. Most of the glow skinks are either burned or torn apart, or all in various kinds of ways, seeming to relay obvious signs of...
Can I do something horrifyingly in character, real quick?
I would ask for nothing else.
Lucius shrugs and says, "When life gives you lemons, and I would like to roll a medicine check to try to harvest what I can from."
Yeah, so in the background, as Glyph rereads his gruesome letter, you can just see Lucius just picking up stuff, being like, shaking it off, being like,
respectfully,
I could use that. I mean, respectfully for Lucius. Yeah, go and roll a medicine check and let's see what we do. Great. Just throw it out of the roll.
13.
13, yeah. I would say
14,
even better.
15.
With guidance.
Anything in particular that you're trying to harvest?
I just want to. I want to take some from the phosphorescence from like glow skinks or something.
So I will say you get a pound of glow skink scales. You get what looks to be
what? Let's go.
You're really excited about that pound of.
I love glow skinks.
You get 2 teeth from these creatures, 2 incisor, about inch and a half incisors, and you also gain
1 level.
1 set of claws. So from
are these all parts of glow skinks?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you were looking specifically for glow skinks.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can gain those 3 items from your medicine. So, yep.
Wait, I thought you got the scales from a deer.
Not in this country.
Scale
you'd have to go.
are in the back in the.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nailed it. Okay.
Remember that. he's
write that down.
He's looking. What? No. Skill deals are pretty badass, right?
All right.
He's writing it into the script again.
Hey, I guess I can reread this. If you guys want to. Hey, mate, Lucius, you're good. Okay, we'll cliff notes you. So, I see you've survived the horrors of the pit. You've proven to be harder to kill than I thought. I wanted to bring us back together, and I wanted to rebuild our race to make us more than a soldier, more than an experiment. Emeraldi began this mission by making us better than other creatures, but he grew safe and showed weakness when he chose to hide us away instead of showing the world what we really are, a superior species. We could have changed the world together. We could have taken what our master started. I don't know. So sometimes I would do a weird A and said master. I don't think that's the way I'd say it. Taking what our...
your voice is very fantasy.
Yeah, that's fair. Master started and made us gods among men. But you made your choice. You took our sacred vessels and tainted them with inferior blood. Sorry, Tabidi, we should cover your ears on that one. Worse, you sided with the weak, and the weak must be cold. The blood of these creatures is on your hands. The blood that will be spilt is on your hands. I will not fail in my mission. I will be stronger, I will be better, and I will destroy those who dare to defy me. Sincerely yours, Balefire.
Does it really say sincerely?
No, it actually says something way worse, but I'm not going to read it.
The blood of these creatures is on your hands. The blood that will be spilt is on your hands. I will not fail in my mission. I will be stronger, I will be better, and I will destroy those who dare to defy me. So it's not really a direct threat to us then, is it? It's more like, hey, don't defy me when I'm doing what I'm doing.
As soon as he rereads, there's the blood of these creatures on your hands. Lucius looks at his hands and casts prestidigitation, and then
shakes them
off.
Real quick.
So it's more of like an existential kind of thing. Like, I feel like, I don't know, it kind of is our responsibility. I mean, we had an opportunity to save him, but you could argue he didn't really want to be saved.
I mean, to be fair, he also had an opportunity to save these 2 people.
It's also true.
One of his brothers. I
pointed that out to him, and he actually just got pretty pissed.
As far
so he's a hypocrite then.
As I'm concerned, next time we see old Balefire, it needs to be on site. He needs to.
I mean, honestly, I think I'd agree with it at this point. I don't think I'd say that before, but after at least a couple of days, I feel like
oh, he made me promise to take him out as soon as he kind of lost it and turned into a monster.
This looks like losing
this is it.
Also, why didn't he just attack us? I'm assuming he didn't.
This is what I'm saying.
I mean,
it's not like he's out to get us. It doesn't sound like.
No, he's quite literally sending a message.
Yeah.
Obviously, sometimes
2. Sorry.
It's not like. I mean, obviously, he probably still cares about them somewhat. There's some part of that still existing.
I don't think so. I think he's actually really pissed about the whole, and not like covered Tabidi's ear holes, like Tabidi situation.
I'm just reading your mind, though.
Yeah, that seemed to be kind of what sent him over. You said the whole like. Let me see if I can find the line. Let's see. You made your choice. You took our sacred vessels and tainted them with inferior blood. Worse, you sided with the weak.
I gotta say, so he has a Darwinist perspective as well as dare I say it, eugenics.
A little bit of racism towards anything that's not scaled. I feel like.
Yeah. He seems like problematic fave for sure.
I mean, he's definitely an issue. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know the first thing about tracking somebody.
Wait, are we doing that right now?
No. I feel like if we fought him today, he'd probably
I think we're completely out. I'm actually seeing what he did to those trappers.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
So I think
He did almost KO us.
I mean, I killed the Lord of Shadows myself, but everyone else
Are there
he
any
wrecked.
tracks leading away?
Oh yeah, you did a great job
Yeah.
with that.
Make a survival check.
back home about this crazy dragonborn.
Did we talk about our next
love
course of
that
action, anyways? Like, get out.
Not yet,
20.
we haven't.
Not 20.
Let's go.
For a total of 23.
You do see tracks. Very well hidden. Definitely attempted to disguise where they had come from, but you do see the results of that covering, retreating from the camp.
All right, so here's my question. Do we need to go back down into the tunnels and, as we had said before, go and investigate those boxes that have been left down there? We still have old android over here, old half body.
Hey,
There's something down there.
And we have a balefire that's
that seems to be powering
somewhere.
things, and we need to worry about him staying powered up. I feel like maybe it might be an idea if we want this android to survive.
So I
it
will
might be a good idea to go down there and get it.
I think that's a good course of action, and also I would say that my generosity has not been paying off because I'm broke as hell. And if there's any cool stuff down there for money, so I can make more potions.
I mean, here's
cool.
Here's the thing. I'd be down to go down there and see what's what. I mean, we're not probably ever going to be back here. As far as Androidus here, if I had like a workshop and like a work table in like a 12 to 24 hour period of time, I feel like I could make something happen with him. So far, I've been able to like stabilize him so he doesn't just immediately drain to zero. But I think
We do have a limited amount of time, though.
Isn't there spare parts from his friends, anyways?
Well, that,
There is also his other half down there.
Oh, then yeah, perfect.
I mean, but
Missus?
I could make a better.
I didn't know they get married.
We're about to get married.
well done.
Yeah.
I mean, I could make something. No offense to Emeraldi, but I can make something better. I mean, you look at Pothole; he's not really, he's kind of an original concept.
Well, I think look at our friends. Our friends are original conceps too, and you.
I mean,
that was pretty cool.
That
was power of friendship, though.
So I think the rested. So it might behoove us to, if ever there was a time to go down there and do a little exploring.
Well, now's the time.
I feel like that might be a great idea, especially considering the fact that we know how to get out of there now.
Yeah,
It's not one of them things where we're just walking in and not sure what next about to happen.
And I would say we put a cap on it. We don't want to be there. We don't want to necessarily waste time.
Of course not.
I feel like we need to. For us, the only civilization we can go to is in the Bracelands. We can't really do much
teleported
here.
across.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to figure out how to safely get back home. So, I'd say, when in Rome, do the Romans.
Are dwarves allowed in the Brasslands?
No.
Dwarves are not allowed in the Brasslands?
Not as far as you're not sure.
Asks Thorgrim.
You're more than welcome to ask.
Is there any dwarven cities nearby?
Dwarven cities nearby?
Or like villages or anything?
There's some places. I mean, there's.
It's what. No, I'm just saying with balefire.
Might
be a good idea to maybe get somewhat close so that you could go in and warn of a possible.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be dwarves. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of places that are around close. I just don't know exactly what shire. I mean, we don't know what direction he's even going.
So to think like a balefire.
Could look around.
Make a survival check for me.
Yeah, we're just doing that. I don't think balefire is just going to go to the next closest village and blow up. I feel like he's probably going to go underground. No pun intended.
He's saying that
I don't think
he's trying to get he's going to get better.
I think he's going to build an army or something.
He's intelligent enough to know that if he leaves a trail, we'll find him.
It takes you maybe 10 minutes of kind of walking around the area, kind of leaving this kind of open forest and kind of climbing a little higher to get a higher elevation before you see kind of a break in the forest and kind of give yourself some landmarks to pick out. You can tell two things. First of all, you were much deeper into Crocodile than you were originally, whereas this took you maybe 4-ish days to get to Vic Ferran. You have traversed deeper westward into Crocodile, to where you are now probably close to 6 days from the border. And to Metal City. You also know you are now significantly closer to what is known as the Umber Hills, the massive mountain range that spreads through a good majority of Crocodile and houses not only a few outposts and a few smaller villages, but also houses Hofkasenjun, which is the capital city. And you are significantly closer than you thought you were. But yeah, you know exactly where you are. You know that it would take you about a day's worth of good travel to get back to Vicferon from here. And then beyond that, again, it's a 6-day travel back to the border, or about 8 days from here through pretty dense forest to get to the capital city.
So we are close to the Dwarven capital city. We're a little bit closer at this point after looking to the border. Again, we'd have to look around and see if there's anything, if we can see which way Balefire might have gone, and then decide if we even want to follow him.
He went this way, and I point at the tracks that I found earlier.
Yes, back to the direction of Vicferon is where the tracks lead.
I think it makes sense for him to set up. Like, can we safely assume that like he's just going to set up base operations and make a giant evil army of draconians or something?
I would assume so, but
that takes time.
It's going to take a lot of time. I mean, there's a lot of things
that I think he's short on. To be honest,
So he did go back into the lab. So I feel like I got the best of the notes as far as Emeraldy stuff, but he was able to get everything else. So he's got a good place to start. Yeah.
It will still take some time, though.
Yeah, no, it's going to take him a minute.
So let's put a pin in that and focus on some good old venturing with the pals and friends.
Yeah, I think it'd be smart to grow individually, collectively, so that way if we do run into this, steam and sake of shit again, we're, a stronger unit and able to, work together.
I hear what you're saying, and I think I agree. I just want it to be said, so it was said, that he will never be weaker than he is right now. I know that's not very weak, so really it does make much more sense for us to get stronger too.
Yeah, for sure.
But to really concentrate on getting stronger, because he's going to just get stronger and stronger.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we're going to encounter a lot of things in our
adventures. If there was ever a fourth wall break in D&D, it is that statement right there.
That was
we can leave them alone, but they are just going to get worse.
And that was well done.
That is a very well articulated,
peek behind. And I feel like...
in the script. Thanks, Calvin.
On our travels and everything we're going to do, I feel like we're only going to find more stuff, more things.
The thing is that the gap, the distance in the pure, the distance of strength between us and Balefire right now will be greater than us. Even though there's a constant growth.
I completely agree. What I'm saying is, I swore to him to take him out if he lost control and became a monster. That has happened. We cannot take him out now, so we have to get stronger to take him out.
Yeah, I think
I want to meet some new friends that are really good at killing things too. That'd be really
I mean, I just accidentally trip into Dahlgren's armor and clang. Oh, whoops! That's. Hi, mate.
No dwarves though. I really hate them.
So what is the plan from here? Are you guys leaving this place?
No more training rooms.
I
think we were wanting to go down into the cave, back and then forward.
Sure.
Because we're right there, and we're just outside of it. We might
so I will need, for the sake of this, because there's not a lot to do.
Yeah.
Who's that for?
Oh,
okay. I will need. Let me get two individual. Let me get an investigation from somebody and a perception from somebody as you guys go back down to those caves.
Yeah. Y'all are fine.
I only have +3.
Hey, my investigation's really high if you guys want to use mine.
I think that's what we'll do.
I'm going to say that Zeph is distracted enough by these thoughts of destroying Balefire that he's not terribly concerned about the mine anymore. So
horrible. No, garbage. That's a It's an 8 with
An 8?
everything.
And what did you roll?
Glyph got a 13.
13.
Oh, a natural 1.
Spending about an hour back down in the tunnels, you can see, for the most part, given the little bit of light that you guys have as you move through there, this excavation site has been, for what you can find, unfortunately, has been pretty well searched through. Most of the containers and barrels down there contain nothing more than just remnants of stone and rubble that were pulled out of the excavation site. There seem to be a few small, almost glass-like shards of miscolored stone in there, but they're maybe a fingernail's thick and very, very small, like almost
chips.
like chips of it, and nothing. You do find, I will say, with a 13, you do find a couple more pieces of automatons, but you begin to kind of piece together that a majority of the ones that are down here were disassembled or dismantled in some very splendid ways, because there's never a full automaton down here. Most of them have been destroyed in some glorious fashion. 12 is the only one who is actually intact to the point of functionality. And no, you can't find his legs.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, does it look like first of all, these like crystal shards? What color are they? Are they like the same purple or?
They're more opalescent. They give off different colorations.
Is there like mining going on in this area for that specific stone?
There's equipment down here. Most of it is destroyed.
Is there any remnants or anything like within the walls, or maybe like, I don't know, like
Zeph will yell
crystal.
down. Hey, don't forget to check the hole where you see the glowing coming out of. There was something down there.
Yeah, I will say that would have been my first.
That's all you find in it, actually.
Okay.
Like that shine was just reflective of just like a scattering of like flakes down there.
Is there any charcoal down here?
There is not charcoal down here.
I'm just curious as to what MRL they wanted these for and why he couldn't go and get it himself.
It's probably more. He's one.
Is it because he couldn't touch it, or is it because he just was busy doing other things?
I think we've all handled the crystals.
They also
or been stabbed with them. Have you been stabbed with them yet?
I've not.
Crazy feeling.
They have insane magical properties, like much more
Like
boosting
pure magic.
effects. Yeah.
I got mauled by rats.
Seem to react very well whenever you get hit by
super
them
rats,
or like really touch them.
Remember the super rats?
I do.
I wonder if.
Dude, you were in that room for a long time. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, screw those rats.
So there's nothing that looks like maybe could even be like a hint of a vein or something of these.
Nope. Whatever was down here is not here anymore.
Can I take the crowbar of a handle and scrape walls?
Sure.
All right.
Can I take an automaton hand?
Okay.
Can I have an automaton hand?
You can have the 4 fingers of a hand.
Hell yeah.
Could I? Are there any like
attached to a hand? But yeah, just like 4 fingers. One of them.
Are there any like
finger
shut
hand.
off like automaton? Like
there are no fully assembled automatons down here. It is literally like battle droids after a fight with the Jedi. It is just a scattering of parts. There's nothing fully assembled down here. The only thing that was fully assembled was 12, and that was because they were further away from the excavation site, and also for some reason they survived. But they're the only thing that survived that is intact.
Because I was gonna check for like torsos or anything that like you could find parts for.
Nothing down here that you could. I mean, you could find enough pieces of something to maybe throw something together. But again, it's all like you pick up a piece of something, it clearly has been broken, and you have no idea where a joining component would be to fix that.
Okay.
It's like a bunch of Legos but no instructions. So it would take you a while to gather a bunch of stuff if you want. But again, it is down here in ankle deep water in a very, very dark cave with a very, very wide and deep crater in the middle of it. So searching down here is not fun or easy.
Okay.
Well,
all right, guys, this was a shit adventure. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Can I at least try to get some of the little chips? Do we take some of those? Could I like get them in a handkerchief and like
sure
sieve them? All right, thanks.
I mean, but it's better that we came down here and found nothing than we never came down here and never knew it was down here.
Hey,
Little
Cliff.
tiny chips, though.
Can I have a little.
Yeah, you want a taste? Here you go.
No, I don't want to taste. I just want some crystals.
Yeah.
These chips brought to you by Guy's Snacks of Kansas City.
Is that a thing?
Guy's Snacks, yeah. Their Twitter's on fire.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Shout out to Guys Snacks on Twitter if you want to follow us. I'd very much about.
I don't support that. Hey, Glyph. I don't know what Guy's Chips is. I'm not gonna. They could be racist.
I'll check.
Okay.
We might redact.
Glyph.
I don't think they're racist, though.
Or eugenicists, as we have talked about before. Glyph, while you're checking out our new bodies, that didn't sound right. While you are investigating the glyphs and abilities that came with our new bodies, do you think you could work out maybe could these crystal fragments enhance us further or maybe develop us a little more? We're kind of Weasley right now.
So I think my concern would be that the only other one of us that really has a lot of crystals, more so than glyphic writing, that I know of, is Balefire. So if you want to go off the deep end, I could probably stick some of these in your spinal cord.
Well, I figured you would. No, not like. You're smart. You like figure things out. I figured you would figure out a safe way to do it.
Oh, I mean, I'd have to take. It's not like I could in 10 minutes be like, oh, we could. But
I didn't assume it was.
Okay, well, I could. Yeah.
He's gonna grab him by the face and just eye to eye. Look at me.
Okay.
It's me in here.
Yeah, I mean, you're taller than me now, so I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
We cool?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I've had enough. Okay. Kenneth, at some point, could I maybe use some of those chips? Not like today, not at this moment.
Everybody's trying to get the grubby mitts on my chips.
We still, if you want to investigate chips. A bigger one, we still have the third large.
It's also true. If we can get to a spot where I can really take time and
yeah, I wasn't saying like shove it in my chest.
Well, I mean, it sounded like, hey mate, I've got a vertebrae exposed. I'd love if you just slapped the crystal in
I feel like it didn't actually sound like that, but that's how you heard it for sure.
That's for sure.
The smart person in my head kind of makes me somewhat smarter sometimes, and so that's why I can say big polysyllabic words like precedent. And so there's a precedent for glyphs working on the crystals. That's pretty cool.
See?
And I guess you can have some chips.
Do the little chips, are they brittle at all? Do you think you could make a potion out of them?
What?
Do you think you could add these to a potion?
Oh, I was gonna take. I was gonna hope. I was gonna hope some talented person was gonna be able to turn into a component any for a spell, but.
We probably spent too long here.
I can dump them.
So here's the thing. We've got our little android fin here, and then we're also looking at potentially figuring out what these gems might do for our friends here. I know in Half Khazad-dûm, it's in the mountain. We've dealt with gems. We've dealt with building things. We've probably got the supplies and things we might need there to make that happen, potentially.
Will we be welcome there?
It's been a long while since I've been there, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, we probably can't, since we're not supposed to be here.
Yeah, it's the biggest thing. I mean,
what? We're supposed to be here?
Yeah, we're not dwarves.
No, we had to sneak across the border. Where were you?
messing with you guys.
Oh,
can I roll to remember and see if any... Because, I mean, I've got clan there and stuff.
Yeah.
But I potentially know if someone on the outskirts that I could maybe sneak them in and be able to use.
Sure, and you would know for
things like that.
The interesting thing about Crocodile is that this is the land of dwarves. All dwarves come from here. Most dwarves reside in the Umber Hills, in the capital city and surrounding cities of it. There are not many that roam beyond the cities, obviously, because that's their source of income and their source of work and all that stuff. You do know that Crocodile is also home to many other races. There are a few others. There's humanoids that live further to the north, also to the south, closer to the Black Sea. There's a couple other types of there's lizard folk that live deeper in the forests. You know that there's orcs and ogre, all kinds of creatures that live here in Crocodar. They're just all very spread apart and almost never come in contact with each other. But when it comes to bringing humanoids of any shape and size to Hofkas and June, that is a very trepidatious thing because of the Steel Treaty, specifically with the King of the Dwarves and the Union. If there was the potential for any of these party members to be discovered to have come from the Brasslands, there would immediately be repercussions of that, obviously, because the Dwarves do not want to break the treaty. They're not keen on upsetting the balance right now. And obviously, if Thulgrin wants to elaborate, if you want to elaborate on the treaty, you're more than welcome to, and I can kind of give him a brief overview.
Yeah. Sure.
So basically, as you guys travel, Thulgrin will relay to you guys that the Steel Treaty was made. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to pull up the data so I don't get it wrong. So when the Union was first born, a few years after it was born, there was many conflicts across a non-existent border of the men of the Union trying to gather materials and irons from Crocodar, which is very mineral rich in a lot of its mountains. And obviously the dwarves of Crocodar fought back because it was their lands that they were being imposed upon. And that was when a very long and drawn-out battle between the two nations began. And that is when, if you're from the Brasslands, you know that Fort Blackhold was the last stronghold along the road. And then Fort Gimli on the other side was the Dwarven stronghold. And that was where a lot of battles were fought in this probably 3-mile no man's land. And basically, there was back and forth for many years, very great loss on both sides. And then the Steel Treaty was formed shortly after the first Brass Lord came to power and began to set things in motion. The stipulations of the treaty were very, very simple. There was absolutely no crossing of the border for either nation in order to just not have to worry about emissaries or miscommunications. It was simply, we do not cross each other's borders. The Union pays Crocodar a fee for a small shipment of brass iron every few months, which is then delivered to the no man's land and then is picked up and then brought to Metal City, which you all saw the very security-heavy transportation of some deep iron as it was brought from the fort back to Metal City, the large kind of arcane locked steel carriages that you saw when you guys landed.
So good question. So the verbiage of the treaty says people from a particular area? Or is it just humans out?
Citizens of the Brasslands.
Cool. So since I'm from Uldal...
So...
Is
that's where we get a little tricky, because obviously you can claim to be a Udalian, but you would know there is no representation of citizenship from Udal.
Nah, we preach though.
Yeah, there is no way to say like, hey, here's my passport, I'm from Udal. Udalians don't carry anything like that. Citizens of the Brasslands would, so the Draconians would have something to indicate them as soldiers of the Brasslands. Kenneth, you would know there is you have a small scroll that would indicate your citizenship of citizens of the Brasslands and its outlying regions.
Not anymore. I've eaten it.
But also you are also from a well-known, outlying city, so it is not hard for someone. It would not be hard for someone to put two and two together. But yeah, the stipulations are simply nobody crosses the borders, doors don't come over, the citizens don't come over, and that is how it is. And the Union pays a small fee. The dwarves are left alone as a result, with 2 gifts being exchanged at that point. The Brass Lord being gifted a set of black steel armor, and the dwarves being gifted with gunpowder. I think this was many years ago. And so that's the official statement. The other thing that Thulgrin would then relay to you guys is that the dwarves also have a backup plan, which is that in the Umber Hills there is a inactive volcano known as Rogastrunma, which is basically the Angry Hill. And if the Union ever breaks their treaty and threatens violence against the dwarves would activate the volcano and submerge their city under the mountain to seal themselves off completely. Which is why most dwarves stay within the Umber Hills as part of that safeguard. So if they ever needed to retreat to the mountains and seal themselves away from the world of men, they could do so pretty seamlessly. But that is what's known as the Steel Treaty.
So being that I'm of the line of the Hammerlord, and at one point he was very well known, would I have a voice there at all?
You would. It's not to say that you couldn't present your case to the king and maybe try to get him to make an allowance for it, but bringing them into the mountain is probably not the smartest move, just because you would have to be like, wait, I can explain, as they're clearly surrounded, apprehended, and then held under suspicion for many, many reasons.
So here's
so
the
you
thing.
could, it would just require you all to get there and be very, very stealthy to get there. That's...
So here's the thing with Balefire. It all depends on what kind of threat you think he might amass. I feel like eventually we might be able to get some help from that city. And I don't believe that would fall on deaf ears. So it depends too on how long we want to let Balefire amass whatever he's doing. Because then it could potentially become a problem for both sides.
Can we make it someone else's problem? As in, like, hey, there's a brassland. Oh no, but that would be a violation of the Steel Treaty and all that stuff.
There's also the question of, like,
if you let them know about his existence, and
I mean, we saw what Balefire did whenever it was somebody else's problem, and he burnt them all down in that village.
Yeah, but beyond that, right now, it's like saying, hey, there's a snake over there in the grass. And then people go in the grass and he's like, we don't see a snake, mate, there's no snake. You know, we don't really know where he's at, where he's going to be.
This is true, but I don't think you walk over there and just go, oh, this is a snake. No, that snake just destroyed an entire village.
Yeah, but there's a law against snakes being in this country at all. And the fact that they found a snake means that they're going to activate the Angry Hill.
Yeah, who's to say they don't be like, oh, there's an existential threat? Cool, no, there's not. And they,
Well, even then, like, we're talking about, like, this entire operation, everything that happened in Dwarven soil, which is already, like, and also funded by the Union, another problem, right? And so they find out about that, they find out about the ties and all that other shit, and then boom, your city is, the Steel Treaty is broken. And that's a problem.
I think it might behoove us, for at least the time being, to not put him out of our minds, but not make him the forefront of conversation.
Agreed. Let it go very long.
Oh, for sure, but
less time for him to mass something and become a much bigger problem. And then now you've got to try to get both sides of the border actually talking and working, which is going to be much harder.
I don't think it's worth the goddamn effort to go find him right now.
Thank you. I would agree.
Fair enough. I don't think it's necessarily either.
He's going to come back bigger and stronger. I ain't worried about it. We're going to come back bigger and stronger. And if I know anything about that slippery little guy, he's probably going to show up at some point causing trouble. It'll just be our job to handle it. And I think we can do that. But I don't think he's top on the list of priorities.
Also, if he becomes a problem on his own, like we don't present this case to something else, it's way easier to make a case that he's not associated with any faction and that he's just a rogue element.
That is fair as well. Personally,
why am I so intelligent right now? That's crazy.
I don't know. I know that personally, I think we'd like to kind of right this wrong in the end.
Yes.
So when he does surface or show his stinking carcass, I feel like I think it'd be good for us to be the ones to take care of it.
For sure.
Agreed.
I think.
Oh, I will end him.
Yeah, but that's not where we're at right now, because right now we don't know where. We don't know.
Again, I don't think it needs to be done.
No,
right
I
now.
never gave him like a time frame of when I'd end him.
Oh, for sure, yeah. You know, kind of like the six-fingered man thing. You know, it took like 30 years.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs to be done right now. I'm just saying I wouldn't necessarily wait a long time either until it becomes a
Listen,
problem
guys, as soon
that
as
we
we hear
can't
about anything
handle.
about it, I promise probably drop most of the stuff going on.
What were you saying,
Fair enough.
Tabidi?
I'm just saying we don't have to make it anyone else's problem, but we can tell people to be on the lookout.
Don't we have connections at
Try to let us know.
the Commonwealth?
I think it's more of like if we establish a reputation, then people will know, hey, there's some weird shit going on. We should probably holler at United Indifference, because they're kind of good at the weird
Let's
shit.
get back home. Put out an APB.
Yes.
Alright then.
About
All parties.
problematic balefire.
Yeah.
APB.
It might not even
An
be.
all points bulletin.
Hey, what if in theory we didn't do that at all and we just waited?
We could keep our ear to the ground. Let's get home. Let's
I feel like
start
just-
I think we're
walking.
talking about stuff that we like. That's not already gonna happen. Like, we're
Yeah,
just,
I think for the first time in my life, I'm advocating not talking and kind of just listening.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
like we don't even be like, hey, if you see any weird dragon stuff, holler at us. It's like, no, someone will definitely say. I mean, how many problems that weren't ours have people brought to us for us to take care of?
Well, that's how we make money.
Exactly. So it's just, hey, there's a crazy guy burning stuff.
Yeah, there's other
Get
shit
going.
going on. Well, other stuff going on. So
Yeah.
I even brought a problem to you at one point.
See, exactly. And then he stayed with us for like
I love
10
this guy.
I
sessions.
don't know why.
What's a session?
I
Exactly.
guess it was more of like it was here and then we just left and then I was with the group.
That's it. So I guess the question would pose itself: do we want to go do Thulgrin's thing, or do we just want to beat feet back home?
I want to beat feet back home because I feel like with Thulgrin stuff, and like no disrespect, I feel like that's a lot of strings and that's a lot
That's
of
fair
things.
enough. That's fair enough.
And I feel like we're ill-equipped to deal with that stuff, and I'm not politically apt.
I will
Also,
say,
hiding one person is better than hiding like a bunch of people.
also true.
Creepy guy lying.
What are the odds that we get like some kind of clemency and are able to kind of operate on this side of the border though? Because you know what's really cool?
Well, what?
Being able to use magic,
Oh yeah.
you know.
I'll
Our
still just
discretion.
do that anyways.
Yeah, but that's different. You've got jurisdiction.
Well, yeah, we gotta.
Yeah, we really haven't paid much attention to that law.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's going to catch up with us. It's almost caught up with us already.
Yeah,
You
no,
already
no,
did.
no.
You
I
already did.
hear what you're
we
saying.
like already did multiple times.
Okay,
Well, you did have a party member arrested for it, but you know, it's whatever.
so
It's neither here.
So-
She tried to explode their brains.
As you guys are, I'm going to assume a lot of this conversation is during travel. I need to ask,
where you
what
going?
direction are you going?
I want to go back. I'm gonna vote towards
West.
Is it north?
I mean,
Northwest?
it's closer to the border. So are you trying to go back over the border?
Yeah,
border?
probably should go past
I
the.
believe it's,
Alright.
I believe it's west. I want to say it's west.
Yeah, like I remember on the map, like it was the Brasslands. And
Yeah, west.
map?
You guys would be heading west
Yeah, there's
back
a map.
to. There is a map.
But I put in the big LT because it used to be.
It was on the TV at one point. Yeah, I haven't printed it out because I can't print it on paper. On my paper, it sucks. But I hope to one day have it on like an actual like map.
Higher.
Come in on a
Yes.
Saturday morning at work
Never
and print it
seen
all off.
On yeah, I could do that too.
Yeah, you'd have to print it.
But
Redacted.
I still need to get like a login to do that.
Matt
I need
has
to check
access
Jimmy's
to a
login
big
and I'll do
printer.
Gmail it to yourself.
Bigger than
I
his.
printed so many like DMV documents at work.
Redacted.
So you sent me the map?
that. Sure.
Yeah, I've
That's
never
how I
seen
find
it.
out.
So.
Yeah, absolutely.
This podcast.
Okay, so you guys are heading back to the border.
Yes,
All right.
I want to.
That's
All
fine with me.
right, Thulgrin, I need you to make a survival check to lead
Guidance.
them back.
You have a D4 on that.
Oh, great. Add a D4 to that very low number. Oh, great. It's 2 more.
5.
I love when the dice tell my story for me. So making your way back, you guys travel for about a day. Back east-ish? Hard to tell. You immediately forget where you are as you start making your way into the forest. You're like, I don't remember any of this. Even using kind of Ormer's direction to kind of triangulate where Vic Ferran was, and I guess you're avoiding Vic Ferran, I'm going to assume?
Yeah, probably taking a berth around.
Guys going around Vic Ferran?
Hey, the closer you are to danger, the farther you are from home.
So...
From home?
No, yes or no?
No.
Okay, so we're avoiding Vic Ferran?
Yes.
Okay, so that will definitely add to the struggle there of, like, you avoided Vic Ferran, but you kind of went too hard one way, and you're like, crap, now I don't know where I am.
Vic Ferran's
so
also landed.
after about a full day of travel...
had to frickin' do is try them and I can't.
Full day of travel,
said
kind
it,
of
buddy.
going in a direction. The
Yeah.
next day, feeling like maybe you're going in almost the opposite direction. Not really sure what's going on. That day comes to an end. Nobody's said anything, but you definitely are starting to feel a little lost as night begins to draw to the end. You guys are getting ready to look for a place to bed down as the sun is now dipped below. Not below the horizon, but it's dipped below the tree line. The blue of the sky now a very vibrant orange. The sounds of the forest beginning to die down from the constant bird calls and animal screeches. Now kind of this dull roar of like crickets and other creatures getting ready. The night creatures beginning to wake. Also, some night creatures beginning to wake. I'm kidding. As you guys are moving through a kind of a stony ridge line that you guys have been traversing for about an hour or so, kind of like a small hiking path through this line of stones. You come across a little bit of an outcropping that looks out into the forest that more recently than not has been cleared. Cleared by looks to be like human tools. A lot of trees have been felled, a lot of areas have been cleared of brush and debris, and setting about a quarter mile into the forest, you can see what looks to be a pretty decently sized fort, set up with wooden walls, the logs set into the ground with sharpened tips kind of lining the top of it, giving it not an imposing view, but definitely a fortified view. Hard to tell who's in it or what's going on, but you can definitely hear the sound of fires and even voices talking and conversating through the outer wall of this.
May I make a perception check to
if you
see?
Want to get closer? You're more than welcome to.
Am I gonna get shot with the ballista bolt if I get closer?
Wait,
Hard to tell.
is it nightfall? Is it like
It's getting there.
Just stick to the shadows.
Hey, I hand him my spyglass, and I'm like, hey mate, you don't gotta get too... I mean, he doesn't know how to cast a spell with it, so it's
Make
not like he's gonna hit himself.
Make a perception check if you'd like.
Okay.
Does that give him any help, the spyglass?
Sure.
After I show him how to flip it around.
It reduces the DC, obviously, because of being so far away.
The fort looks so far away.
It's such a tiny fort. What is this, a fort for ants?
No.
So you don't have to put your eye over. Okay.
I like gaming, Preston.
That's 20.
Yes,
a 20. Very nice. Looking through, you can see that it definitely is. You can see there's definitely individuals manning the walls in more of a sentry-like fashion, just kind of keeping watch. There doesn't seem to be a heavy military presence. A few individuals. The sentries look like they have helmets that kind of glint in the evening sun, and
Can I discern,
spears.
Can I discern if they are dwarven or if they are...
Hard to tell from a quarter mile distance,
Okay.
unfortunately, even with the 20. You can definitely see there are individuals, and it does look to be a pretty well-sized place, but you would have to get closer to determine what's in there or what's going on.
So, it doesn't look too heavily fortified. It just looks like a fort. If I were going to vibe check it, I would say decent vibes, for sure.
Hey, does it look like it's a human endeavor, or like maybe shorter humans like dwarves?
It's hard to discern. It's hard to tell.
How big are the beards?
I will give
They
you.
vary.
I will give you this. It's not going to help you, but I will say they look like humans. There does not seem to be any offsetting factors. There doesn't look to be like horns or
They look like
wings
dudes.
Or, yeah, it looks to be pretty basic humanoid shapes.
Pretty basic humanoid shapes.
Fulgrin, are we in Dwarven territory or Union territory?
Should I make a check? Because I don't know right now. We're lost.
You're pretty sure you're in Dwarven territory. You don't know what this is, though, because, again, most dwarves reside in the Umber Hills. So if these are dwarves, you're not sure what they're doing out here.
Well, I can propose this. Maybe...
But not in an alarming way. You're just like, I don't know why they would be out here. Because most dwarven parties are pretty mobile. and move to and fro. So to set up a more permanent place would be obviously for something you're not privy to. But again, you've been gone for a while, so there's things you don't know yet.
So
There's a lot
would you
of
like
things
to
you
be the
don't know.
face and just go up there? That's a safe bet, right?
That's fine. I'll walk up there.
Or we could just pass without a trace, get around it, and keep booking it.
We don't know where we
For
are.
another hour?
It's really up to you guys and what you feel.
I
It's
don't
up to you.
know.
What? Ken.
I have no qualms with anyone. If we want to go past, that's fine with me.
I just don't want to get up into something that we're not prepared for or send somebody else into something they're not prepared for.
Well, at any rate, we perhaps should pass without a trace and get closer to examine it more, and if it's nothing we want have an interest in, we walk on by.
That's good.
Done.
I like that.
I will
Yeah,
scoop up a little bit of
There's
dirt.
nothing to say that we can't get a little bit closer
Put on
and lay a
face.
little more eye on that.
Hey, do we all need to go, or should we just take the people that are actually stealthy to kind of just go suss it?
I'm covered in dirt already.
Well, everybody's pretty stealthy right now.
Did you cast it?
Yeah. You didn't feel that? You didn't see that? The forest floor?
No. Actually, I felt that in a way that I've never felt it before. I think I can do it now.
Oh, can you?
Oh, nice.
Thank God, because I'm tired.
This is tired of smearing shit on these clowns.
Yeah, because she doesn't. I mean, you don't really cast it. You just kind of make them all look a little more. You kind of Arnold Schwarzenegger everybody with mud and be like, all right, now you're harder to see.
You roll.
Get this
I roll in the dirt.
phone now again.
Okay, so if, who is moving stealthily? Who is not?
I'll move stealthily.
If anybody isn't.
I think we should all move.
If it's a
all?
whole
We're all
party,
moving
or if
stealthily.
it's just going to be somebody else. A couple
and then
of people.
go by if
I thought
it's
this
not,
was full
nothing
party.
interesting.
We're just moving.
Full party moving quietly?
Yeah.
All right, let's do some stealth
Why?
checks then.
Alright.
Adding plus 10 because it passed without a
I
trace.
will guide
Let's
myself.
go.
Hey.
I rolled an 8. That makes it 28.
What is it, plus?
Whoa.
Plus 10.
I
so
don't
bad
have
at this.
disadvantage.
19.
All right. Kenneth,
28.
Glyph,
30, and also Pothole had a total of
You didn't. Roll that.
23, 30 and 23.
Nice.
So
Thorgrim,
19.
Zeph,
Natural 1.
Tabidi.
15.
That's with a plus 10. Didn't you get it?
Well, what is
Nat
your
one,
total?
nat one.
Just I want to know what your total is. 'Cause it is
12.
okay, so 12, but it is very with the natural one. Thank you, Lucius.
18.
18.
Natural 1.
Oh,
You don't know
jeez,
your
oh
body yet.
Pete.
Total
You haven't
of
figured out your body.
13.
I think since
his first sport. We're
since
gonna
he
take on our
felt
first
it
sport.
so
We're gonna-
much when she
You
did
need to-
that,
I have to
since he
actually
felt
roll for
really
this one because
stealthy,
all of them were
he's
offset.
stealthy. He's just like,
Stumbling through the forest a little bit, at one point actually scaring up a little group of grouse from the forest floor, just like as they fly away.
Yeah, grouse.
That's the sound of their wings when they beat. Have you never heard that before?
No.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like Dr. Zoidberg.
It's like they make a little like like a whooping sound as they flap because they fly out of the. I don't know.
I don't know.
I've been hunting before. As you guys,
Oh, they're
you
birds.
do scare
I
up.
thought they were like
grouse.
little groundhogs.
Me too. I thought they were groundhogs too.
What?
yeah,
I'm a dumbass,
That
dude.
bunch of spiky things going.
Hey man, this is fantasy world. Anything can be.
Fantasy world.
These
Grouse here are.
It's a
groundhogs.
medium to large game bird with a plump body and feathered legs, the male being larger and more conspicuously colored
Stop reading
than
off
the
your-
female.
I'm gonna go with Avatar style.
That was
It's a
my dating
groundhog with
profile.
wings.
I was
That
about
makes
to
so much
say-
sense.
It's a what?
It's like instead of a, it's like
ground grouse.
it's like a no. It's the origin of the word
a
was
grouse hog.
groundhog, like
Grouse
groundhog and a goose,
it's a chimera.
Goose hog.
and so it's a grouse.
Yeah. Ooh.
A groundhog
That's
and a
really
goose.
good. A groundhog
That
and a
is good.
goose. It's a grouse. I like
grouse.
it. I like it a lot. Okay.
Cliff is just walking
Close
ahead.
to
No.
grouses.
So as you guys get closer to this, you can see nobody seems to pique interest, and you can see as you get closer, the main kind of doors of this place are open.
What?
There do seem to be individuals kind of moving in and out of the walls themselves. There are a few sentries lining. The closer you guys get, as you kind of weave throughout the underbrush and some of the larger trees on the outskirts of this place. The first thing you definitely notice is that they are, it definitely feels very dwarven. You can see most of the individuals are of shorter stature and definitely are talking. Any of you who can speak Dwarvish can clearly hear them calling out in Dwarvish language. But it does not, again, it doesn't look to be a fortified, other than just, like I said, the wooden walls and an interior that you can hear at this point, now that the sun is now kind of dipped past the horizon at this point has now started to turn the orange sky into a very dark purple. You can hear the sounds of individuals talking and laughing, and as you guys get closer, you hear the ding 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 ding, and people are starting to hoop and holler as the sounds and smells of what sounds to be like the evening meals being prepared and served.
I'm tired of
But as you guys are kind of hiding out in the underbrush here, you have not been noticed, so the choice is yours. You can continue on, or you can see what you want to see.
I want to meet more people.
I think we continue forward. I should probably move forward. We should continue forwards. I don't think we should talk to them.
No people.
Is there any signage or anything that says what the name of this town was to help us kind of market or help Fulgrim find wayfinding or anything? No.
Hey, I will say, I mean, if we wanted to be super direct about this, Thulgrin is a dwarf.
We could send him in and be like, "Hey, where am I?"
I mean, we could just ask him, "Hey, mate, you want to go in and maybe grab some dinner and see what you can figure out?"
I mean, it might be weird, me just walking in there out of nowhere, but
just
I
mean,
it'd be better
than some of us.
I'm alright with that.
Okay, so you head in.
If everybody else is in agreement to that,
I don't think it's a bad
I'm not
idea.
gonna go in and stir up potential things if you're not wanting to stir up potential things.
I mean, maybe just find out where we are and how close we are to getting back home if you can. Maybe a map or something.
It might not be that easy.
All right.
I'm not sure exactly what they're doing. They could be doing a million things.
You're right.
I would think that I'd be welcomed there, but I don't know exactly what I'm walking into.
You know, I'm happy that
I can't guarantee that they're just gonna offer me dinner.
How about this?
You're like a king, right?
If something goes off or goes sideways,
we'll just go back home.
Have Vinny scream. We'll hear it.
The doors are open. We can go in there and kill everyone. I'm kidding. I don't want to kill people.
Fair enough. Like I said, I'm alright with going in there.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure everybody else is alright.
I'll slap him on his dwarf bottom. Like, all right, if you're alright with it, you heard the bell. You're gonna be late.
Hand is broken.
At this point,
shattered. My glyph.
Zeph is like, actually, I should probably go with him. I could try to disguise myself as a dwarf.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Teacher, not.
He shits out an iron ingot.
Is it clapping?
He as he strains and strains and strains, doing what he used to do to like become, change his shape. All of a sudden, you hear a pop, and in his place is a mastiff.
How long does that last?
2 hours.
2 hours?
I think maybe it's 1 hour.
Hey, you better
Drew,
check
quick
that.
question for you.
Can you speak as a
But he doesn't know this actually. How long?
No, he cannot. Obviously, mastiffs don't speak, so he just kind of barks, but he can understand.
Hey, some druids.
Oh yes, because he's a psychic draconian. He
Yo,
can.
that's a big way.
Yeah,
to
so basically,
that.
you can hear in his
really
head.
Cool.
You can hear him in your head.
Outside
This
of game
combination
question.
is so broken right now. Like even at this low level, like I'm not supposed to be able to fly, but I have gem wings,
so you can make any creature.
So
fly.
I can make any creature fly.
Flying mastiff.
Drew, so most druids, when they start to wild shape, they will add like a flavor of their character to everything they wild shape into. Do you have something that distinguishes you in a mastiff form versus
what's
any
your
other
umami?
run-of-the-mill
Completely
Come on, man.
white, pearlescent mastiff with like just featureless white eyes. It's just like pearl orbs.
Ew.
He does not blend in. He sticks out like he glows.
You probably could have just been a dragon and you'd been less conspicuous.
All right, so Thulgrin steps out into the opening and begins to walk towards the fortress, or begins to walk towards the fort. As he approaches, you get about maybe about 60 feet from the doors as you hear the sound of two individuals talking above the balcony there, two of the looks to be the sentries, and you hear one of them, he's like, yeah, at that point I was like, if you try to... Oi! And they both lean over and like look over the balcony down at you. What's she doing here?
I can ask you the same thing.
No, I asked you first.
I asked you second.
Well, you got me there, man. Do I answer first or do I answer second?
I think you should answer first.
Right, that's fair. Hey, that's fair, right? Isn't that
You're the
fair?
owner of the house. It's customary.
It sounds like a real Stanley Shunpike situation.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, all right. So, I'm here because I'm one of the guards. My name's Levy. What's your name?
The name's Thorgrim.
Thorgrim. I don't know Thorgrim. Do you know Thorgrim?
Oh, I don't know Thorgrim.
You seem to be doing a great job guarding things. What are you guarding?
Well, this is Fort Hanover.
For who?
Fort. It's Fort Hanover. It's the name of the fort. It means forest.
All right. Well,
forest. Do you not speak Dwarvish?
I do.
I have so
I'm right in there.
Zeph, absolutely.
I just couldn't hear you very well. You're all the way up there.
It's at this point that outside of the conversation, you all hear them talking just in Dwarvish.
I don't think Margaret speaks Dwarvish.
Meanwhile,
I'm gonna look back at you and go, I don't speak Dwarvish in your head.
Meanwhile. Right, so I've answered your question. So what were you doing here, Thorgrim?
Just taking a stroll with my dog here. Would you like to pet him?
That's a pretty dog. Are you all alone out there? Right. But what are you doing out in the woods alone?
Walking around, taking a stroll, checking out the stars.
Strolling.
Yeah, quite pretty. What you
honestly, I came walking up. It smelled like you guys are cooking up a great dinner. Something.
Oh, that's Gobby. He makes a great stew. He's making dinner for the whole fort at this point. You want to come in?
Out of curiosity, would Gobby be willing to make me an extra plate?
Of course, dwarfs are all welcome. You're more than welcome to come in to rest your feet. If you need a place to sleep for the night, it's getting dark out there. If you want to head on in, you're more welcome too.
That'd be great.
All right. Yeah, head on in. I'll let him know. And he turns around and you hear him trotting away down the wood planks. The other dwarf has been sitting the whole time, just kind of scratching his beard, just kind of just does a nod.
I'll nod right back to him.
All right, that's mad respect. All right, so you're free to enter.
All right.
All right, he says to the DM, I've heard you.
Okay. So
I guess I'll follow him.
Yeah.
Over and try just.
As you step through the door, you can see that Lenny makes his way down and now is standing at the doors, kind of waiting for you. He's like, "All right, you all come in. I'll show you around, introduce you to some people. Let's head this way." And so he starts taking you into the fort. And you can see it's a pretty decent fort. There's stables, there's bunkhouses. There looks to be the kitchen. Looks to be almost like a tavern of some sort, because obviously dwarves have taverns wherever they go. And most individuals are sitting out at long tables that run across the majority of the courtyard. Through here, and there looks to be probably 100 or so dwarves in this encampment. All of them gathering food, gathering drinks, beginning to talk and drink and have a pretty good, evening meal. You hear the sounds of instruments being played and laughs being, jokes being cracked, as Lenny is just kind of pointing out everything. He's like, "Yeah, we've been here for a couple months now. We set up camp here and been working. We've got some delvers taking shifts throughout here, going throughout the land, and a couple of soldiers to keep us safe. But we just follow our orders, and that's what we do out here."
All right. Who runs this crew?
Who runs this crew? Our leader's name is Nineveh. But he's not here right now. He went back to the capital city. He was talking to said he had to talk to the council or something about something. But yeah, that's where he went. So we're here just waiting for him to return, and should be back in a couple of days.
All right. See, the thing is I was actually getting ready to meet some friends a little bit earlier on.
Yeah.
Would you be alright if they came in?
Oh, you got friends?
I was going to meet them just a wee bit down the road.
Oh, yeah.
Would you mind if I set my dog to run back and grab them?
Oh, here's your problem. Yes.
Alright, I'd be Mario.
Your friends are welcome.
Alright then.
Alright. you go,
At this point, Zeph turns to him just because the talking has been going on for so long, and he just goes, "Roo, roo, roo, roo," while messaging, I don't speak Dwarven. I've got no idea what you've been saying. You'll have to talk to me in common. Or Draconic. Or Druidic.
Or dog. Or thieves can't? What?
So we're going to gain sign to the dog. Dog's like, just says, like,
He's just,
I get you, bro.
it's just that blood sign that everyone did in middle school.
Or if you're telepathic.
Turn around and I guess just scratch him on the chin. Or on the chest or wherever his leg starts to shake.
Roll
and then
for
I'll say, hey, only roll for a scratch button.
For a sweet spot.
A sweet spot.
What do you tell him to do?
Run back and grab the group.
Okay. Zeph, you run out?
Yeah.
Oh, alright, so you guys are there for maybe about 10 minutes, and then you see Zeph come bounding out, tail wagging.
He is a happy looking dog, too.
Tail wagging, comes up to you guys,
He's
and
the happiest he's ever been. Telepathically tells any and all of them.
Okay.
He told me to come get you guys. There's a bunch of dwarves up there.
I'd like to get it also and
It's like
over
a
to the
way station or something.
kind of the entrance area and just kind of wave my hands so that it can see me wave.
standing in the door frame, you can see, as Zeph has explained to you guys, you can see Thorgrim is waving you guys at the...
Is Thorgrim the big bad? Have we just fallen into a trap?
Oh, sweet, guys,
Yeah,
they're welcoming.
You know, Glyph kind of just tries to, like, he just looks at Zeph, dog Zeph, and he's like, hey, no, tell him no.
Come on, guys, get over here. They got food.
Oh, they got food.
No, and I grab Lucius.
What?
What part of we're not supposed to be here? This isn't clicking.
I don't know what they said, but he had a long conversation and he told me to come get you.
How about we send a message back with you, so you can tell Thorgrim?
I don't understand what the problem here is.
Well, the problem is we're still on the side that we're not supposed to be on.
But Thorgrim says it's okay to be here, then it's okay to be here.
Quick point of contention. I wasn't there for the conversation, but did Thorgrim specify that
He's
you've got
waiting us to come in.
a lion, a human, a kind of human, a dragonborn, and a lizard folk, and, you know, a skinky little, you know...
I'm a guy. We're human.
I mean,
at this point, they're taking so long for me.
This is a few minutes. You're fine.
I just walk over there and I'm basically like, I'm gonna go. My dog, I'm not sure where he is. I'm gonna go over there. And
Oh, nice, mate.
I'll be right back.
All right.
I'm right back.
We'll be here.
The dog's
So I'm just gonna go walk towards them.
Sure, you can head back to them. As they're having this intense conversation, you can head back there.
This is how grouse make.
Zeph does not hump a grouse.
I'm not saying that he does. I'm just saying
Zeph does not hump a grouse.
It's too long.
So
check his
do I get back to him?
short name.
So they seem very welcoming. However, I may have misspoke in the invitation. They may not know that you aren't dwarves. So it might not necessarily be the greatest idea.
Hey, let's just hit town. Let's go.
Can we just leave then? Can we just go?
If you're all wanting to leave, that's fine.
Are you staying or what?
Well, just go ask him if not dwarves are welcome.
No, because then they send out a hunting party and we've got to kill a bunch of dwarves.
I don't like killing people.
At this point,
can we stop doing that?
If y'all want to leave, we can leave.
I mean,
I want dinner. It smelled amazing.
I feel nothing when I think about food, and this scares me.
Here's the thing, though. I was sitting at the table, and I at least got you this, and I pulled out some biscuits that were just sitting on the table and brought him some biscuits.
TBD grabs one right away.
Now you need to find out in your draconian form if you still like carbs or if you're a carnivore.
Yeah, your taste buds are different.
Cardboard?
Just only eating carbs.
This doesn't taste sinewy at all.
Like lithium batteries now.
What's lithium taste like?
Alright, so do you want to go, or do you want to
Should we
It may not go great if we go back there.
I'm not willing to
to
stick my neck out.
Fair enough.
If we're not welcome here, I'm not willing to be apprehended by anybody. I just want to make tracks back to where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, and Lucius had a point. I mean, I don't really want to hurt, much less kill anybody that doesn't really deserve it.
I'll catch up to you.
Well, here's the thing about dwarves.
Your problem.
Here's the thing about dwarves. Dwarves don't kill other dwarves.
Are you sure about that?
Okay, yeah, that's fine, but we're not dwarves, so they definitely could kill us.
I don't know that. I'm sorry. I
We don't
know why I
prefer to
said
kill.
that.
I mean, we'll beat the crap out of each other, but we're not trying.
You guys don't have like wars and stuff between your people and stuff?
We do.
So it's just like a punch wall.
Not the kill war?
So like...
Not like the normal type of war?
Yeah, like what? I swear... Okay. Anyways, continue. Continue with your point.
It kind of just depends on the circumstance, but for the most part, dwarves don't generally try to kill other dwarves unless it's absolutely necessary.
It's because they don't have dwarf women, so you know there's a finite amount of dwarves ever in existence.
I think we've met a
that's
couple
a
dwarf
myth.
women. I think
it's hard to tell them
it's just hard.
apart.
It's hard to tell.
I think you think that women got beards too.
Yeah, they do.
I think that's a
They
very
wear pretty
problematic,
well.
problematic rumor that you're spreading right there.
I'm not spreading it, mate.
Hey, listen.
I just heard it now.
Some stereotypes exist for a reason. I'm just saying, there's a little bit of truth.
Kid, with your draw, you cannot be saying that.
Hey, y'all, hear me out. All right. I ain't saying dwarves are stupid.
I'm just saying that there's a little bit. It's based on fact.
It's based on facts.
That's what you sound like.
Yeah, 100%.
Lucas, all you're saying is they all look the same to you.
And that's God's honest truth.
All right, well, then let's just hustle back towards the border then.
Is Kenneth the BBEG this campaign?
I don't know.
No, I am. I'm
No
always the
bigotry is.
BBEG.
That's true.
Calvin just wants us to choose one.
I don't want to go.
I don't either.
Let's
say
leave that.
we do not go in.
Those biscuits were.
Wait.
Here's the thing. I could also go back and say I didn't find you all, and then I can try to ask some more questions about what they're doing there, if that's something we even care about.
I don't care about that.
I think we just need directions at this point.
Fair enough.
Ooh, directions are good.
And more biscuits.
Maybe you could ask,
More biscuits.
because the opposite way of the border is the Umber Hills, correct? Or so?
That's correct.
You could ask where which direction the Umber Hills are, and then we go in the opposite direction to
Nice.
get to the border.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you, Thorgren. I appreciate you.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna
You are
roll
loved
back,
and done.
roll
Walk
back
back to-
there.
you walk back to the fort. Yeah,
the same
I'm
guy
going
and
with
just
him.
be like,
Yeah.
I
heads back.
guess I got lost. I'm not sure where they are. I did whatever.
Really, that's a damn shame. I was
So-
hoping to meet him.
Here's the thing. I've been trying to get back towards the Umber Hills, and I seem to have gotten a little bit turned around.
Oh, that can happen in these woods.
What direction would I need to go if I was trying to get back to the Umber Hills?
Oh, you just head east for a while, and he kind of points in a direction. He's like, that way, a couple days, probably a week or so travel.
All right.
A little more. But
All
yeah,
right.
that's what I would suggest.
Fair enough. What are you guys mining here? Just mining to mine? Or you just
Oh, that's
Trying to
more.
see what
That's more
level
the
you're trying to
that's more the
figure.
captain's like area purview of like expertise. I'm just a soldier. I'm here to protect. But we got delvers here. We got surveyors here. We got all kinds of dwarves here. We've been just, gathering numbers for several months, almost a year. Excuse me, almost a year actually. That stew went down. But yeah, really, our captain's the one that's kind of in charge and like making us, do stuff and like go out and scout and collect and do all kinds of things. We've delved into some cave systems. We've scoured the land. We've pulled resources and all kinds of stuff. I guess we kind of set up like a little like outpost here, maybe like a way station. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
all right. That captain that you were talking about, was that the one you were mentioning before?
Yeah, he's the one that's in. He was headed back to the capital last I was told, but more rumor than anything. I'll talk to him.
All right.
Where is like there a nearby table with people eating at it?
Yes.
Okay, he's gonna go to the nearest one. Is it within 30 feet of this conversation?
Yes.
Okay, cool. He's gonna be real cute little puppy dog and do some begging. Oh, to get some food.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Yes.
You got this.
Natural 1.
You don't got this.
Persuade. Thanks. 15.
15.
He's a quote.
Oh, is that not the cutest dog you've ever seen? Yeah. And you are just inundated with treats and bones and hunks of whatever you can.
As he's got a particularly scrumptious, juicy piece of meat in his mouth, just like, cartoon, like the raw steak hanging out the side, just he's just gonna kind of like dead eye stare at the side of the head of the guy he's talking to, and the guy's gonna hear in his head, "How do you feel about non-dwarfy type people?" And he's just still.
Yeah, and when I grew up, I was. You say something?
Did I say something?
Yeah, did you say something? Swear someone just asked me a question.
No. No.
Well, it must have been something I thought in my head.
He's gonna say it again.
Yeah, it was again. Did you not hear that? Someone was asking me how I felt about non-dwarf individuals.
In common, no.
No,
I'm joking. He hears it in whatever.
I heard that too. I'm not sure where it came from. It sounded like they said, "How do you feel about non-dwarf people?" Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Someone just shouting.
Who asked another
Sounds like
dwarf?
you should answer
What
that.
dwarf asked another dwarf that? But, out of curiosity, what do you feel?
Me? Oh, I don't care. I don't think any of us care. We actually got some orcs that work for us here in the fort. They usually go. They work the night shift, so they work. They usually go to bed early and early to rise. But no, we've got like non-dwarves. Do you think we don't like non-dwarf people?
No. Again, that wasn't my voice. Somebody else
Who was saying that?
Crazy. The things you hear in the forest.
No,
right? Am I right?
Yeah, it's some crazy stuff.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous. No, I don't think any of the men down here would mind a non-dwarf. Like I said, we got orcs that work with us. We got we had an elf that came by not a couple months ago. Was selling stuff through the woods here. Never seen an elf in my life before. He said he was really, really far from home, which is probably true because I don't think elves live anywhere near here. But yeah, everyone's entitled to journey through this world, and yeah, as long as they're not from the the Brasslands is kind of like the sketchy thing. But like, I guess our captain was talking about how like we're trying to like shake the bonds of like these age old like traditions that aren't really affecting us anymore. Because I guess he said like we could benefit from the union and all kinds of great stuff.
All right. I mean, you ever seen one of them lizard folks?
We got lizard. Have you not?
Apparently, they're great workers.
Have you never been north?
I mean, it's been quite a while.
Well, north of the hills, there's like tribes of them out there.
That's great. That's great.
I've never seen any myself, but I've heard stories about it. My dad was like, he I guess he like went on an excursion and like ran into a bunch of them. They're pretty cool. Way smarter than you think they would be.
What?
I wish you.
Like top tier, like intelligent, like people who like
They mean
like
so
read,
well.
like people who like read books all their lives, like smart, like librarian smart.
Man, this guy's incidentally intolerant. It's not even intentional.
You know what? He's working on it.
He's growing.
He's growing.
They're nerds, but he likes them.
Yeah.
Stuff them in a locker, but they're good to have around.
Hey,
they're way less stupid than they look.
I appreciate all the kindness. Would you perhaps mind if I took a little bit of food for the road as I left?
Take what you need. I don't think there's any problem with that.
All right.
Yeah, get what you need.
Just gonna have my food and say
enough food for 8 people. For
I load up the dog a little bit.
Sure.
Kind of start it in. I was like, all right, well, I appreciate the kindness, lad, and I'll be on my way.
Nice meeting you, Thorgrim. You have effectively been. So let me ask this question: are you just eating whatever they give you?
Jace.
Okay, because the dwarves are going to try and get you drunk.
Jace.
So I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
As the dwarves are also.
It's liquor. No,
they're like, let's give him some ale and see what he does. So all kinds of
4.
You're feeling a good buzz, man. You were given a mug of something and it was good.
Yes.
And they're having a great time laughing about that.
So he's absolutely stumbling under the weight of whatever has been strapped to him, and pees on Fulgrim's leg as he walks by.
As you are like stumbling around, everyone's like bidding you goodbye as Slogan's gathering his food. With a 4, you pass out.
Yes. Nice.
What the no, think about that.
Ooh.
Wait, are you unconscious?
I'm looking.
Can I see that he's starting to pass out?
As you're gathering food, you hear that. They're like, ah! And you turn around, and Zeph is passed out.
You automatically revert if you fall unconscious.
I'd like to. Crap.
This is unconscious. As you fall unconscious, he falls to the ground, and you hear laughing, and all of a sudden you hear.
I look over and I go, hey, remember you like the lizard folk, right? Hey, they're smart, book smart.
There is a immediate stop to everything as all these doors kind of turn around and now see a crystal draconian is now sprawled on the ground.
You bastards, you got him drunk, didn't you?
When you beat the uncle to my dog, it turns into a guy.
Would we assume that because the hit points always revert and things that are affecting you in beast form, they go away? So he passes out as a dog and then instantly wakes up as a fully fine Zeph?
I like the way you think, but this is not. You didn't lose your hit points. You just got drunk.
Okay.
So you're still you're still drunk. You're just. I would say you'll probably come out of it here pretty quickly because your tolerance is probably a little more increased now that you're back in your real form.
Than a dog with his tiny little liver.
Than a dog would be, but you're still mumbling in your sleep kind of stuff right now. As all the dwarves kind of stare for a minute and go.
Well, yeah, I told you just a moment ago.
What the crap? Which one of you is a wizard and turned my dog into a lizard?
Which one of you is a wizard and turned my dog into a lizard?
Make a deception check
That's
for
incredible.
It's a Dr. Seuss book.
No, it's way better than that.
The lizard turned my wizard.
Ooh, wizard turned lizard?
10.
Wizzy the Lizzy.
Grouse in the house.
There's a couple of people who go on we got a wizard around here. And that's a few of them do that, but everyone is very, very quiet. And they're all just kind of real quiet for a second. And then as there's mumbling beginning to spread around, you hear a voice of somebody else who's like,
Who you all staring at? You never seen a draconian before?
And they all kind of spin around, and you hear them just oh, they all cheer and clap, and you can see stepping through the door, there looks to be about 8 dwarves that have now stepped into the frame of the door. You guys saw them walking through as you guys were in hiding, but stepping through the frame, you can see is about 8 dwarves, all kind of dressed in travel gear, and one who's got long silver braids all tied up in brass kind of ties going all the way down his back, giant silver beard, who stands there with looks to be an old war pick turned kind of walking staff. And most people are and cheer as he walks in. And you see him kind of nod to everybody, and Lenny runs over. He's like, "Come, we have a visitor!" And he brought a dragon dog. I don't know what's going on.
It's a dragon dog. That's not exactly what it is.
At this point, Zeph kind of rolls over and sits up. You are now awake.
Shut the crap up.
It's at this point.
Start barking. Don't say a word. Start barking.
It's at this point the gray dwarf walks over and
my dragon dog. Nice to meet you.
Reaches out a hand to you. He's like,
looks like you had a little bit too much of the ale, my friend.
And he reaches down and holds out a hand to you.
All right, he takes it,
picks it up.
Shocking.
Oh, thank you. What be your name? Oh, me. I'm Zeph. Yeah. Nice to meet you, yeah. Pleasure to meet you. You can call me Captain. All right, that's all right, Captain. You're not from here, are you? You're not from here, are you? No. I mean, kind of. Nearby.
Wait, were you gestated here, so therefore you're a citizen?
From Vic Ferran. Vic Ferran? So that is quite a place. Yeah. I haven't been to Vic Ferran in many years. Not many dwarves have.
It's not worth visiting, really.
They all mumble their agreement. And Lenny at this point is like, and he got Fulgrim with him. And Captain kind of turns and looks at you.
Fulgrim? I've heard that name before.
Have you? Where?
Many years ago. It was probably your father, Thulgrin III.
No relation.
Your father, Thulgrin III, no relation.
Yes, my name's...
That's his middle name.
Did you meet my father?
Yeah, you could say I've met your father before. He's a hell of a dwarf. Did you relate to him?
I'm related to him. What did you say your first name was, Captain?
Well, I didn't say it. You should call me Captain. Everyone calls me Captain around here, and everyone nods. Captain. They're all cheering for him.
I love that guy.
Well, please, we're being rude. We have guests here. Bring them food and bring them ale. Our fort is yours.
Captain, we have a larger party that they were kind of afraid to come in. They weren't certain how you felt about non-dwarfies.
If you'd been anywhere else, you would have been kicked out immediately. But here at Fort Hanover, we're more accepting of those not of the dwarven blood. We're a bit of a mercy mission, you might say. But I'm travel on. You must be hungry, tired from all your travels. Please, invite your friends.
So, are you accepting or affirming?
Why?
Is this a Drew Kill movie?
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that.
I believe I'm inclusive to anyone entitled to whatever they want to be.
You're like the really cool ones.
As cool as you probably could say. I don't know. I mean, I've bashed a few heads in for people who look at me crosswise, but for the most part here at...
All right, I'll go back and get them. If I come out looking like this, with no one chasing behind me trying to kill me, I think they'll understand.
Of course. We're more than happy to have travelers here. Kick the music back on as he starts limping into the crowd, and everyone cheers. Someone hands him a mug of ale as he and his companions begin to mingle into the crowd. As you two are kind of standing there now, just kind of shocked and watching this individual walk away.
I'm not shocked. Turn and go get my friends.
Okay.
As that's happening, I'm gonna kind of follow the captain.
What are you smirking about? Sorry.
It's Fort Hanover, but with his accent, it sounded like he said Fort Enema.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Certified rice moment.
Okay, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. What are you, level 2?
Oh, nice.
Not trying to force my way into Fort Enema. Sorry.
Sometimes it just happens.
I'm going to follow the captain a little bit and a little more and just ask him. So, tell me a little bit more about your knowings of my father. I haven't heard many stories about him. What stories do you have of him?
Not many to tell. I've only known as you're going to get as you're going to get his friends. I will say before we get to you. So you guys, I'm assuming you follow Zeph.
Decidedly, yes.
Biscuit time.
Oh, Zeph actually. No, dang it, he's not a dog anymore. Oh, what happened to all the biscuits he was hoarding in his mouth? Oh no.
Straight to your thighs.
Ooh. Okay. Cool.
It looks great.
They fell?
You guys all follow him into the thing?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Lucius does.
Reluctantly.
Jeez. As you guys make your way back in, you're immediately, you see Letty who, meets up with you, is like, oh, Thulgrin said he had friends. I didn't expect so many interesting individuals. Well, come on in. And he kind of brings you guys to a table. There's a space cleared. There's definitely that awkward air of, you guys are definitely not a part of this, but it seems like there's a majority of individuals who seem to be accommodating. Some of them do come down and speak some pretty stumbling common to you guys to broach conversation, and it seems like for the most part they bring you food, they bring you bread, they bring you
check.
make a perception.
I'm looking for a taser face in the group.
Go for it.
Taser face. That's
18.
18.
You only find a tater face.
You see a couple. There are definitely some tables where they look over their shoulders and have discussions about you, but there's not a hostility. There's definitely just a weird I guess Captain said it was okay, so might as well just let him do the thing.
No one's like, Captain's got to quit letting the talls in.
No, okay. No. There definitely is a healthy respect for like what there seems to immediately be
it's like being an American in Japan, where you're definitely different but very well respected.
That's a great example of it. Like they definitely are trying to be respectful of you guys while obviously you are different from them. But not too far away from you guys, you hear Thulgrin having a conversation with Captain. Well, you understand it. The rest of you just hear Dwarvish. He's like,
I met your father in passing a few times, but for the most part, he was a hell of a dwarf. A named dwarf, actually, a Kinsol. Know many of those, and very proud to have known him during his times.
So if you were hanging out with him, what are you, a named dwarf too?
No, not a named dwarf. Mostly just an old dwarf at this point, just trying to make our lives better by just expanding beyond the walls of our beloved city.
All right. I mean, I don't usually see a bunch of you guys out here. What brought you out here?
Yeah, mostly it was a design of it was a happenstance, actually. I started out as a member of the scouting party, just heading out through the forest, we do sometimes just to keep tabs on our lands and everything beyond. And one day we got hunkered down here when the winter got bad, and we built this up to keep ourselves alive through winter, and it kind of stuck. And next thing you know, other traveling dwarves come through, bands of individuals, and one after the other, a few stayed, and then more and more. And well, now look at us, we're a right old family here. And you hear nods and like hoops and like slaps on the shoulders of like agreement. But he's like as he's drinking, and obviously everyone's throwing down drinks and having a great time. Captain continues, and know that I'm not a conventional dwarf in the sense of stay by the mountains, stay safe and all that, but I like it here. I think this fort has potential to show the king that we could be more than just mountain dwarfs.
All right. Well, I really do appreciate all the kindness you've shown. I'm gonna run along over here to my lads and.
You do that. Letty will find a place for you guys to bunk tonight. Don't worry about it. You can stay as long as you need.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yep.
I think Lucius is going off trying, a group of people is interested in him, and he goes over and is speaking a very broken conversation with.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Hey guys, you guys want to see a cool party trick?"
You see a bunch of dwarves who are very much into their mugs, and just they all look up at you, and they're all talking about how tall you are, and they're like
trick, trick, yes, it's trick.
Okay. Lucius is like, "All right, whoever gets scared owes me
50 gold.
A gold." If I can spook you.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, I'm still good at persuasion. 17.
These dwarves all laugh, and they begin to point out dwarves they think will get scared first, and they're I will get scared. All right, I'll go for everything. You see coins being slapped down. You man, slapping coins down.
Funny and cool.
As bets are now being made as they are waiting expectantly for your trick.
Lucius is like, "Okay, ready?" I try to count down with them. Everyone's counting down with me. 3, 2, and then Lucius falls down completely dead on the ground.
Okay.
And then does the creepy shit where his body cracks and then forms the dreads.
Make a performance check with advantage. Whoa. No, intimidation with advantage.
Intimidation with advantage.
Okay. Hustle these guys. I want to do it next.
Okay. 13 plus 8, 21.
You scare about 6 or 7 of these dwarves, immediately falling off their benches, spilling food, spilling drink, getting all in their beards, their faces. Peals of laughter begin to erupt from the table as bets are collected and slaps are made. People are hoisted back up. Your lower back is being like smacked many times by these dwarves, obviously like trying to like show like respect and appreciation, but it is definitely, given your height, it's more like almost like butt slaps, like good game smacks, because again they're short and you're tall, so it's not really
Lucius doesn't really have much of a butt, so it's just all like it's all back.
It's all back.
Yeah, Lucius. That Lucius is all bad.
You get 8 gold coins.
Slap that tailbone.
You get 8 gold coins from that bet there.
You're not poor.
As the rest of you are having your food and just kind of sitting around at your table, you begin to notice that the spirit of the fort begins to lift. People are getting drunk, having great times. You can begin to see that there's even like looks to be like games are being broken out. There seems to be like dice and cards being strewn across tables. It seems to be small wrestling matches and feats of strength being taking place now, whereas people are starting to like move aside to where the dinner has definitely wind down, but the drinking has just begun. But yeah, if you guys want to mingle with the crowd, you're more than welcome to.
So, is Aramir getting drunk?
Is Aramir getting drunk?
I would probably taste some.
Does Aramir get drunk?
Yeah, you can drink if you want.
I have a high concentration.
Probably only drinks rum.
I would say if you want to be drinking, that's fine, but you're not like you're keeping tabs on it.
Yeah.
I'm buzzed just enough that I walk up to Aramir and go, "Oh, prede kede, and kind of scratch his chin.
Pushing him slightly away with the maul.
As you push him away, you hear about 4 or 5 other individuals on a table about 5 feet away go, "Prede kede," they all waves their mugs to you.
Oh wow!
The man that fights with blood, the pretty kitty.
I love that he has his maul out in like at a dinner party, and he just have it in his hand to push him away.
It's a dwarven dinner party. We've got hammers and
there
axes
are
all over
literally
the place.
weapons like embedded in
It's
tables.
really
There is
insane.
nothing.
People are playing like really shitty like dwarven like
Tetanus
darts,
is
which is just
everywhere.
throwing axes. And, like,
Somebody's trying to play the game where you stab a blade between your fingers, but it's just the axe of a giant. Yeah, it's not.
Can I propose a group activity?
You're gonna find hammers and axes
You're out?
lying on the
I'm
table,
not
just like
doing
forks
whatever
and
you
knives.
Okay.
So
okay.
I want to make up a game. It's like bobbing for apples, but instead of water, it's ale.
Oh god, no.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely play
And
that
what
game.
are you bobbing
I have
for?
game prepared
sponges
if you
that
guys
are
want to play
collecting the
games.
ale.
I just want to see who can collect. Like,
I mean, he's got games prepared.
you got games.
I have games if you guys want to play games.
So
Just breaks out a board game.
I would like pothole to, or if there's like an arm wrestling, I would like to register pothole.
Sure.
Like, just one
Hell yeah.
second. His thing is he's got to get his confidence up, and I pull out the spyglass real quick and I enlarge him. As he goes to the table.
So he has advantage on that.
And as I explain, see, look, now he's 6 feet tall inside of it.
And there's definitely a draw to pothole, and you can see dwarves kind of live in the weird middle ground between magic and
Might.
magic and artifice design technologies. So there are definitely, you can see there are individuals that have what looks to be blunderbuss strapped to their backs.
I'm not playing games. I'm talking to them. Then screw that.
There seem to be like there are individuals wearing like armors and like equipments that look like don't look magical, but definitely seem to be imbued with things. So they do live kind of in a world of in between. So yeah, your pothole is definitely drawing a lot of attention, but also
Your
a lot of
pothole
like
is drawing a lot of attention.
Whoa!
definitely seems like a lot of respect for whatever
For
you
your
did.
pothole.
But yeah, they think he's super cool. So yeah.
Okay, right on. Yep. So he just does it. Does a little contest of strength,
Sure.
off on his own. I just tell him like, hey mate, you can cut loose, whatever, don't care. And I unlock the
Oh no!
This is the origin of the expression "pop in the top."
Yeah, it's like
I thought that originated in Mardi Gras.
No, different kind of top.
Oh, it's like pop, I mean, and you get some beads.
You just give him free range.
More or less. I mean, he's huge, so I can see him.
By the end of the night, he will retrieve 28 gold pieces for you.
Oh my gosh, they treat him like a wishing well?
Some of it is in his tank. Others he wins from his arm wrestling contest because he gets pretty sauced and just has a great time and just all kinds of stuff. But yeah, there's definitely a couple of silver pieces that were tossed into his wishing well of a tank. It's pretty cool. He gets you 28 gold pieces by the end of the night. So
yeah, I have that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So, anybody else doing any? Want to have some fun while you're out here?
Lucius.
While this is going on, sorry, bro.
You go.
TBD, thinking that he looks older now, never having had alcohol before, kind of wants to try it.
Presents his fake ID.
His fake ID is
easily brought to you. Make a Constitution saving throw.
He is a fake ID.
I am 21.
You know, in Dwarven culture, you drink when you're like 2, right?
Oh, that's not good.
That's it's a 7. Okay.
He drinks it, he's like, this ain't shit.
So
10. So I figured TBD.
A 10?
Yeah.
You can dance really well right now.
Up.
Oh no, he's a white girl.
So you drink, and it definitely tastes funny. It does not taste like
Mountain Dew.
Definitely tastes weird.
I imagine he goes up to the bartender. He's like, good sir, can I have your easiest alcohol?
Red's apple.
Yeah, so you're provided with a pretty generic ale that they have here. But yeah, you drink it and don't throw up. It's not that bad, but it definitely feels weird. I mean, you can keep drinking if you want, but yeah.
Do they offer him the worm?
No,
the worm.
That's not in beer.
This is definitely just pretty much a straight ale that they're serving around here. You got to drink a lot of it to get really drunk, but you've never had it before, so it's not. I don't know, you're not sure what it's doing.
Maybe like 4% ABV. You know.
I feel like I need to keep trying it to get used to it.
Sure,
so I keep drinking.
You can keep drinking. Absolutely. We'll get back to. Well, actually, make another Constitution saving throw at disadvantage this time for me.
Okay. Well.
How do you get better at drinking without practice?
6.
There it is.
So you still don't throw up because you were above a 5. But after about an hour, you're feeling really good. After about the 8th mug of ale that they gave you, you're starting to feel real good, dude.
Flat Earth theories.
So you might, depending on what your actions are later down the road, this might have some effects on you.
You might be.
We'll see what happens. Anybody else want to do anything while you guys are hanging out here, having a good time?
You go.
Okay, why not join in whatever games they have available?
There's card games that are being played, there's dice games being played, and there looks to be like some either axe throwing or hammer throwing.
Good games, bad games.
Basically, they're just literally throwing weapons at the wall, seeing what sticks. And there looks to be a tin cup that was hung on the wall. They're trying to hit that basically to start practice.
I'll join in on that.
Sure. Go ahead. You pick up one of the axes that they have kind of buried. There's like 12 axes just buried in the ground. People threw them down, so you can pick one up and give it a throw if you want.
Sure. What do I add?
Are you proficient in simple weapons?
He has to be. He's a blood hunter.
Yes, I am.
Sure. Then go ahead and add your proficiency and make a dexterity check as you throw this.
Send it.
All right, so I have a +2.
Yeah.
19.
19. We're gonna roll a couple of people to see what they do.
Good job.
So the first guy throws it, and it hits right next to it, doesn't impact, and there's shouts of dismay and frustration. Another guy hits it and spins it, so it hits it, and the nails as it catches the side of it, and a group shouts and like cheers and stuff like that. You throw it and hit it just a bit more solidly, kind of denting one of the tops of it. And there's a little bit of like a discussion that you don't know what's going on, but at the end there seems to be lots of like claps of like respect, and they hand you the axe that you hit, which is just an axe. But they also give you about 8 gold pieces.
Nice.
There seemed to be there was a little bit of a bet going on there. So,
that's pretty decent.
Anybody else want to do anything?
I'm talking to the guys that have firearms of any kind.
Yeah.
And it's a couple hours. I'll probably look over their stuff and see. Just like very, very simple improvements. Assuming there are simple improvements to be made.
100% you can. Yeah, their design and their form is definitely very different than what you have created. But you could probably pull a few ideas and concepts from them. I would say if you would like to, you can add a advantage roll to whatever tinkering with firearms you make in the future.
Nice. That's actually awesome.
That's sick. Yeah.
Take that. Am I able to help them with anything?
They don't. I mean, there just seems to be a lot of showing off of like their stuff. So I mean, if you want to offer advice, you can. But it's just it's just kind of a it's definitely a when guys talk about guns, it's like, I have this gun and it does this, and this. It's like, I have mine and it does this, and this.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of bragging.
I'll probably just listen then.
Yeah.
If they've got a lot to talk about, I'll probably just sit and listen.
Well,
and write
dwarves
a bunch of
guns.
notes down.
What couldn't go wrong?
Oh, okay.
All right. So, anyone else want to do any other games or activities?
I think Lucius is gonna try to do like a apple bobbing thing with ale. I just think that's really funny to me.
Apple bobbing.
Pothole grab your ankles.
Apple bobbing. Okay. I don't know how this would work. I think
that would be a. Let's do a. This would be a acrobatics.
Acrobatics, okay.
To bob for ale.
Okay.
Makes sense. A con save.
So, a reason that I wanted to try this because I want to have an in-game discovery of that Lucius doesn't need to breathe.
Oh, okay.
Because his level doesn't need to breathe anymore.
So as everyone begins to bob, a couple people. Let's go ahead and make some rolls and see what happens here. So one dwarf dives in and. One dwarf dives in, pulls out a couple apples, just shouts and cheers. Another dwarf stumbles over, begins to drink, dunk and drink, and when they explain to him what's going on, he's like, "Oh, that's how it is," and drops his head in. And after about 45 seconds, they have to yank him out because he passed out inside of it.
Like a brownie from? Do what? Does he fall in like a brownie from Willow?
Yes. But yeah, so he face plants into it and then doesn't come up, and so they have to yank him out, and there's smacking him while he is passed out.
Yeah, that's really.
And so it is your turn. So you dive in to begin to go for stuff.
Yeah.
And you're down there for a few seconds, and then there's a moment where you feel like
people tug on me.
There's a moment where you feel like you do need to come up because you're holding your breath, and then as you continue to go, you realize that you're continuing to hold your breath. There's no burning of the lungs. There's no need to inhale or exhale. And you kind of stop as you're bobbing your head in the water for a while and just kind of sit there for a second.
Yeah.
And after a few seconds, you feel like people reach for you and pull you up.
Lucius put his hand back and thumbs up.
Oh. The hands stop.
Yeah.
Slowly let go.
I've been in there for a minute and a half. Not for more than a minute.
It's getting close to 60 seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can bob for some apples and discover that you don't need to breathe.
Yeah. I'll get a bunch of apples.
Yeah, sure.
And I will get a bunch of
and I get a bunch of apples and I come out. I'm like, guys, I did it. And then as I say I did it, a bunch of ale just comes out from my nose and from my
gushes out.
What if you didn't know
I shouldn't be
you're
alive
supposed
right
to
now.
bring apples up and you're just chomping on them?
I
got 8
There's
apples.
a bunch of cores floating in the barrel.
I will say this, just for the sake of the storyline here. I need you to make an intimidation check for me.
Intimidation check?
Yep.
Sounds like you got applesauced.
10.
Nice.
Wait, no, that's a 7. So there's a 15, right?
Yeah, that's a 7.
That's 15.
Okay. I rolled a 16.
Terrified.
So they're not scared of you.
That's okay. I don't want them.
Good.
Honestly,
They roll
ideal.
just high enough to
They're like,
not
you're
be.
weird.
They're like,
Mind my business.
oh, they're scared. It soon devolves into seeing how long you can drink without having to stop. So it's like drinking contest,
right now.
but to see how long you can go before you have to set it down, and you don't have to because you don't have to breathe.
Well,
so,
it doesn't end. No, I just fill up with ale, and then I just
yeah, it's great. They're having a great time with that. So you're having a great time.
I think I'm
there.
sloshed now.
I think anybody else who hasn't done anything want to do anything, or we're just gonna continue with the evening's festivities.
I just imagine Kenneth is probably just surveying, just making sure, we don't get too.
Are you not? You're not drinking heavily?
No, not at all. No, I'm watching TBD, making sure his first time he doesn't get super hungover the next day. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He's
yeah.
You're a giant draconian around dwarves.
His tail is starting to just sway, just
it's
half.
dragging
I imagine there's
around now.
now.
4 or 5 moments where Kenneth is almost like, oh, I better go. Like, Lucius, oh, he's been in that barrel a second, and then he pops back up, and then TBD is like, oh, but he looks like he's all right.
stumbles in front of you at one point.
Anything for you, sir?
No, Zeph's just taking it all in. He is like noticing, like, are there any animals in here? Any just beasts?
Yeah, there are definitely some dogs. A few dogs around here. A couple of mountain goats tied into the stalls. But mostly dogs just kind of out and around here. But nothing super crazy. So.
Yeah, so I think he will. Now that he's not in like an extreme circumstance, he will cast speak with animals. So so what he does is he just like he feels this sudden affinity for animals that he's never felt before. Just like
you just look down at one of the dogs and it looks up at you.
Yeah, and
he just starts wagging. So you
he's like, hey, bud. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
And it just looks at you, and all of a sudden you just feel this this connection here. Hi there.
Oh, yeah, you want some food, right?
Yes, please.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I got you. Here, here's a little treaty.
You hand it to him, and you go, oh. Thank you. You are my best friend now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. That's great. I really appreciate the simplicity of a dog's love.
I'm going to lean on you now. And he leans over.
Yeah, just there you are. And he just pats him on the chest, kind of like
my gosh,
hard that hard thump where you hear the barrel.
Hard pat.
Yeah,
And you hear another after a few minutes. You hear him go, "This is the greatest day of my life," and he just leans against you.
Yeah, most days are, aren't they?
Oh yes,
that's great.
But yeah, so after the festivities go on for a while, it's about 4 hours in. You guys are most people are having a great time. Flip my mic around because I just smacked into it. Sorry about that.
Redo this whole night.
You do this for you've been doing this for a while. The sun has set, the moon has risen. It's a beautiful night. It's clear. It's a little crisp. There's a little bit of frost on the air as you see your breath coming out as everyone's having a great time. Laughter, jokes, all kinds of stuff. People doing their things. Fulgrin, are you getting into the festivities, or are you just having a good time? Like, are you getting like heavy into it?
Not heavy into it. I'm having some beers, but I'm pretty.
Yeah, so you're drinking, you're having a good time.
Yeah.
You can hold your own.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more of like a.
I need you to make a perception check for me, but it's going to be a disadvantage because you are in a large crowd of individuals. So.
Perception check.
Perception check, please, if you would.
Sorry. You said disadvantage?
Yes. So
that is going to be 9.
Did you roll twice?
Oh,
Right.
9. Oh wait, yeah, 9. So
9. Okay. Actually,
double this.
No.
Oh man.
I'm trying to think because I'm trying to like factor in some stuff here.
Guidance.
Well, I don't know if Lucius didn't guide him, so I don't think he's got that.
No, he's still
with a
neck
9.
deep in a barrel.
Do we need Lucius to guide him?
What? Well,
Are you saying Zeph gives him guidance?
Zeph definitely doesn't. Only because Zeph has no idea what's going on.
That was a roller coaster.
He's just lost in his little like dog petting.
But would you assume that Zeph knows he gives guidance, or do you think maybe it's just...
No, if Zeph gives guidance, it's just like going to be an accidental, you got this, I have faith in you. I don't think Zeph will ever know that he actually...
Is that your guidance?
Sure, he glances over, yes.
You got this, I believe in you.
And notices whatever, Drew has no idea what he's doing.
So just looking around. He seems to be just kind of watching the crowd.
So in this warm, like he's got the dog, he's just feeling a lot of goodness, and he looks over at Fulgrin and remembers when he was Fulgrin's dog, and just kind of sends a little dash of heart song Fulgrin's direction.
Oh, dash of heart song.
Everything was dog.
Okay, so go ahead and add a D4 to that and see what happens.
When draconians make food, they don't add love.
Does Fulgrin, like, he's never felt heart song before? Like, what is that?
No, just a warm feeling.
Alright.
Not obvious.
I've got a serious heart song right now.
Yeah, so I hear 500.
Huh? 12? Which is what you needed.
Yeah.
As you're sitting here, just kind of listening to the conversation going, you hear a large not kerfuffle, but a large just like peal of laughter from one of the tables not too far away from you, and you hear people talking, and you begin to hear a story being told. Like it's in the middle, it's towards the end of the story, but you can begin to hear the words as obviously now like your attention is drawn to it. Now you're just trying to listen into it, and you hear the sound of it sounds like Captain is talking. He's, "Hey, you should have seen the look on his face after we had the Naruk. It was something else. He thought he would beat me, you see, and I knew I was about to be beaten, but that was when I had a trick up my sleeve, see." And he takes another big swig of his ale. I threw fucking sand in his eye, and it blinded him, and everyone was laughing, and they thought he'd gone mad for a second, pawing at his face and his visor, not knowing what was happening. And that's when I sweep the legs, and I bashed his face, and everyone starts laughing. He's like, "I tell you what, I've never seen a Thulgrin more pissed off when he lost to a no-name," and they all jeer, and they slam their things down, and he's like, "He'll think twice before dealing with Dempsey again," and people are just like, "Ah," and they slap his back. And that's when it clicks. The name Dempsey. The name of the one stain in your family's name. The name of the one dwarf who challenged your father to an Uruk, a duel of honor. Cheated and won, bringing shame to the Thulgrin name. And you realize the man standing before you is one and the same. As Thulgrin is realizing this, there is a moment on the other side of the fort where sitting outside of the firelight, looking out into the darkness of the forest, Aramir sits, listening to the sounds of the party behind him. Aramir. You hear the sounds of laughter behind you, of games being played, of bets being won and lost. And the laughter triggers a memory. That memory comes to your mind fresh as if it was the day of the weighted leather boots that cracked ribs and split skin, of the large paws and talons that tore strips of flesh off your body, and the peals of laughter from the tribesmen as they laughed at you, calling you weak, and proving once and for all that you do not belong in the tribe. But the image is different now. Because now as you see this image from the perspective of you lying on the ground, blood leaking from your eyes, your nose, your ears, bones in agony from the repetitive beatings, the image is of the tribesmen laughing down at you. And behind them, on the gray day that it was, you see nothing but fog around this vision. And you see in that moment as they're laughing, pointing down at you, they begin to be shrouded by a large black shadow. They don't see it. How could they? It doesn't exist here. The Undying slowly begins to take shape above them, towering 30, 40 feet. Its long, tree-like horns stretching out in this weird, ox-like twisted shape, its gangly form glistening black, the claws dragging almost to the ground. And the laughs continue. Jovial, mocking. And then as they continue to go on, and the punches and the kicks continue to go on, you watch as one singular claw, maybe 8 feet in length, from the Undying reaches down, and you hear a laugh turn into a gurgling shriek as the claw pierces through the back of the neck, the back of the head, and out the front of one. And as that corpse falls lifeless to the ground, the rest continue to laugh, unaware, unknowing of the danger that looms behind them, of the undying vengeance that seeks them out. As Oromir watches this in his mind's eye, his body slowly follows suit, reaching down and grabbing them all in his fist, and begins to walk one step after another, quietly, silently, into the darkness. For just as he is undying, so is his vengeance. And that is truly where we will end tonight, with Oromir and Will setting off into the unknown to return at some point to the darkness. As a parting gift to you, Will and Oromir, you may now have what's called the Nightwalker Mall.
Freaking what?
Oh, no.
Daywalker. Is this in?
It is, yes, it is an item in
I
you
bet
should be able to have that. Yes, Nightwalker Mall.
Can I become a Nightwalker?
Oh, buddy, you don't want to. No. No, you
They're
don't.
so cool, though.
No.
If there's one thing we know is that the Night King is actually a punk.
Well, that's true.
That's a whole different thing.
That's bad.
But we'll continue with that. I do want to do one more special. Will, thank you so much for being here for this entire thing.
Anytime.
We have had a hell of a time with you here. We are going to miss you and Oromir in our adventures, but we look forward to the next time you bring him back into our party.
Indeed.
Yes.
So, specifically, Will, thank you so much for playing, and thank you all for listening. We'll see you all next time. Good night, everybody.
Bye, Will.
Thanks for listening to the Wild Magic School Bus. We hope you had a great time listening. We always have an incredible time making it for you. You can find new episodes each Monday on whatever podcasting platform you use, and if you're feeling extra philanthropic, you can leave us a 5-star review. It helps us out a lot. If you want to stay in the loop, we have socials. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at WildMagicPod or on Reddit at r/WildMagicSchoolBus. If you're enjoying this podcast, let us know by saying hello. We love making new friends. Thanks for listening. See you next time.
All right.
Maybe we should do a shout out to Brandon at the end of this episode.
Do whatever you want.
He won't listen.
Yeah. Brandon doesn't listen to this.
That was me back in high school.
I'm Judah Smith, and I'm joining the Wild Magic School Bus for a week. Now, Brandon.
I think you mean I'm Erwin
Ralph
McManus.
That's the one.
He pronounces it McManus because he has to be unique.
Dick Menace?
What?
I'm Erwin the Dick Menace.
No.
Yeah, and in his catchphrase, like, did I do that?
I want a pirate now. That's his name. I'm Erwin Dick Menace. Like, why are you? Oh God, that's why.
But then have him say, "Did I do that?" But as a pirate.
Did I
as an Urkel pirate?
Did I do that?
That was good. Did I do this?
And as he says it, he just takes his hook and just drags it down his face.
Yes.
That's what his parents does.
We have created the next The Joker.
Ooh.
I love it.
Erwin Dick Menace.
Why is he the Joker?
That's what it was on the last film, right? It's the Joker.
You know they're making a sequel, and it's gonna be.
I feel like the only person who gets to call him Joker is the girl he's always hanging out with.
Harley Quinn.
Everyone else is like the Joker.
She calls him Mr. J.
Mr. J. Yes.
I like to play D&D.
Transferring to D&D in 5,